What's good, everybody? It's your boy Will. Today's video I'm going to be showing you guys the best center build in NBA 2K23. Now, there's already been a lot of people asking me what I'm going to make for this game, so I wanted to make this video as soon as possible. I got the game early on Xbox and I've been testing out pretty much everything to do with centers, the builds, how the game is, what you can get away with in the paint, what's the best speed, what's the best pass accuracy. And I'm going to break everything down for you guys. I'm going to show you a couple different builds, but a majority of them are going to be 7'3". The reason for that is because the paint on this game is still very sweet. Mike Wang said that he patched it. They said that it was going to be fixed for this game, but it's really not. In my opinion, it's pretty much the same exact thing that it was on NBA 2K22. So with that being said, we're definitely going to want to stick with either a 7'3" or a 7'2" center to start out on this game. So obviously the position is a center. And this first build, like I said, is going to be a 7'3". Now this is going to be the slower 7'3". As you guys can see on the right, it only has a 51 speed. Now that might look slow, but to be honest, in this game you can get away with having a 51 speed, especially if you're playing 5v5. It really doesn't matter that much because speed, similar to NBA 2K22, is still broken. My guy's running around with 51 speed like he has 75, so as long as you don't go too far under 50 speed, your guy is still able to move fairly well. Especially the fact that he's this tall, it really doesn't matter. I'm going to show you a build after this one that has a little bit more speed, but for right now this one has a 51. Now obviously we're going to want to max out the wingspan, and you're going to want to go with build on any center build that you make so you are as big as possible. Now these are the stats that I came up with. This is not exactly what I'm going to tell you is the best, because there's so many different things you guys can do with this builder this year because they changed a lot. Pretty much every single stat category, as you guys can see, links to another one. There's certain things that obviously I would never put up, like mid-range, but you have to when you put up your close shot, and it's pretty much like that for every stat. So the first thing I'm going to tell you guys, if you're making an inside center, I would highly recommend you to get 95 close shot. This is going to give you Hall of Fame masher, and from everything that I've tested, this is the most broken finishing badge in the game. It's similar to Grace Under Pressure last year, where it gave you like a ridiculous 20 to 30% higher chance of making layups in the paint. So you definitely want to get Hall of Fame masher. Now for driving layup and driving dunk, it's really hard to upgrade all the points that we want, so we're gonna have to leave both of these down. But again, you're 7'3", so you're not driving to the paint dunking on anybody to begin with. Even if you had a high driving dunk, you're not dunking on people. Now for standing dunk, again, you have to lose points in this game. You can't max out everything like you could last year. So for this build, I'm going to go with an 80 standing dunk. This is going to give me pro big man contact dunks in the paint. And some of the other builds that I'm going to show you guys have an even lower standing dunk. The reason for this is because you already have such a high close shot. In a lot of situations playing competitively, you'd rather go up with a layup than a dunk because there's a chance that you missed a dunk. That's something I had to get used to on 22, where it looks like you have a wide open dunk, but the game is just going to screw you over and you're going to miss it. So on this game, you're going to have to focus on just going up with layups and not dunking as much if you want to have a really good build that's balanced. Now the post control, it goes up with the close shot, so there's nothing you can do here. You can't lower this. Personally, I wouldn't up post control at all if I had the option to, just because I feel as if the post moves, the drop steps, they're a little pointless in the competitive scene, just because most of the time you're going to have a guy with 90 steal spamming you as soon as you try to do a move. So these are the finishing attributes. This is pretty much a baseline for what I would recommend anyone to make a center build getting on this game for the first time. I would highly recommend you to get that 95 close shot. And to be honest, all these other finishing stats are irrelevant in my opinion. It's really hard to get a 99 standing dunk like you had on 22, so we're going to keep all these right here. Now the shooting, obviously this is an inside build, so we're going to go with a 65 free throw. The mid-range has to go up with the close shot, like I said, but you're going to want to go with at least a 65 free throw because they did make it harder to shoot free throws on this game. So I wouldn't go too much below that, as it's going to be hard to hit whites. Now for pass accuracy, this is really preference and it depends on how you play as a big man, but personally I wouldn't go below 65 pass accuracy. If you guys didn't know, they took out bullet passer from 22 and they made it so whatever your pass accuracy is, that's basically what your bullet passer is. So if you have 99 pass accuracy, you're going to be throwing like it's Hall of Fame bullet passer. If you have like a 65, it's going to be like silver bullet passer. So personally, I wouldn't go below 65 because your guy starts to throw the ball pretty slow from what I've tested out. I feel like 70 is a safe range. You could also bump it up to 76. Some of the other builds I'm going to show you have it to a 76. I feel like that's probably the sweet spot for Pro-Am. What's going to be the best? Obviously, we don't know yet just because no one has really played competitively. But for the moment, I would recommend you to have at least a 65 pass accuracy and probably a 76. This one has a 70, which I think is good enough from what I've tested. And obviously ball handle and speed with ball don't matter because we're on a 7'3" center. You're going to get ripped regardless if you have this maxed out or not. Same thing as NBA 2K22. Now for interior defense, on this game you have to have a 99 interior defense, or you have to have a 94 strength, which is very hard to get in order to get Hall of Fame brick wall. So for this build, I went with a 96 interior defense. That's going to give us gold brick wall, which in my opinion is plenty good enough. The other builds I'm going to show you have silver brick wall. The reason for that is because on 2K22, there was literally a 2% difference from silver to gold brick wall. It was tested out. So there's barely any difference between those two. And if you already can't get to that Hall of Fame, it really wouldn't hurt that bad to only have silver because there's not that big of a difference between silver and gold. For this build, I went with gold. Perimeter defense is a 56. Perimeter defense really doesn't matter that much on a center. It's really just how you move when you're holding L2. For the most part, on a guy this big, you're going to be in the corner, so perimeter defense really doesn't matter that much. Steals maxed out to a 60. That's plenty good enough. I feel like the lanes are a little bit better than they were on 22 in this game. It's easier to get steals. Now for block, I would recommend you guys to get a high 90 block. A 99 is what's going to give you Hall of Fame anchor, but again, it's very hard to get all the stats that you want on these builds. So use this as a base for whatever you want to make and change things accordingly to your play style. Personally, I have this build at a 95 block right now. Same thing goes for the rebounding. As you guys can see, I have a 99 offensive rebound. You could change this to have a 99 defensive rebound. It's really up to you what you'd rather do. But having a 99 offensive or defensive rebound is going to give you Hall of Fame pogo stick and Hall of Fame rebound chaser, which are both two very good badges and both badges that you would definitely want to put on. But again, you could switch it so you have 99 defensive rebound instead of the 99 offensive. And then for the physicals in this build, we're going to want to max out the speed. The acceleration goes up with the speed. Acceleration really doesn't matter because it's just how fast you move with the ball in your hand. It's not how your player moves. Strength goes up to a 71. In my opinion, that's plenty good enough. Strength has really never mattered on 2K, so 70 is going to be a sweet spot for this. And then vertical, max out at 70. That's plenty good enough for a 7'3", and then 90 stamina. Alright, now moving on to the badges. Finishing badges, we only have 16 badge points right now, so like I said, once you guys get the extra badge points, you're going to want to put 2 onto finishing right away. And that's going to allow us to be able to get to this Hall of Fame masher and apply it as one of our core badges so it won't use up any badge points. And that's exactly what we want because this costs 8 points. But we're not going to be able to do that until we unlock the 2 extra badges. So for right now, the badges that I would recommend you guys to put on are Hall of Fame Pro Touch. Now, this only works if you have your layup timing on, but they did buff timing your own layups in this game, so it's way easier to green them. And I've been greening a lot of like 40 to 50% contests in the paint, which is pretty broken. So I would recommend you guys to do that. Then you can put on something like Fearless Finisher. You can put on something like Drop Stepper. Slithery is not a bad option. You could throw that on too, right, like that. But for the most part, limitless takeoff is useless on centers. Dream shake's useless. Acrobat's useless. Post spin technician, bronze or silver, doesn't work. Aerial wizard, it's for alley-oops. You could put that on bronze or something like that. And then back down punisher, I really wouldn't recommend, and bronze doesn't work that well. Same thing with drop stepper. You could get away with not having this on as well, but again, you need to equip all these badge points to be able to get to these right here, which is really what you want. So right now we have 10 points equipped. And as you can see, we are 2 points off getting this Hall of Fame Masher, which is, in my opinion, the most broken finishing badge in the game. So once you guys do get those extra 2 points, you're going to be able to hit core on this. So it's not going to take up any of the badge points. As you guys can see on the top left, still says we have 6 points left. Once we get those extra 2 badge points, we're going to have 8 points, and it's going to say 8 points left on the top. And you're going to have Hall of Fame Masher equipped. And then after that, we're going to have 8 points left over. So we're going to put on gold fast twitch, and then we're going to have 1 point left over. And we can't get rise up. But again, like I said, we're lowering our standing dunk in this game because you cannot get everything. They changed the builder, so it's harder to get all the stats you want. We got to sacrifice something. And in my opinion, standing dunk, it doesn't matter that much because even with 99, you're going to miss some dunks. It's better to just do layups. So we're not going to get rise up. We're going to get fast twitch. It's going to allow us to go up quicker in the paint, which we definitely want. And then again, we're going to have that Hall of Fame Masher. So moving on to the next badges. Now for shooting, you're going to want to do that right there. You could put one of your extra badges on slippery off ball to unlock it and then core it. But again, it's up to you guys. I wouldn't put anything else into shooting, obviously, as we're inside center. The only thing that really matters is having slippery off ball, bronze or silver, but you're going to have to get the extra badge points in order to do that. For the playmaking, this is pretty simple. We're just going to want to go ahead and core break starter. Then we're going to want to throw on silver vice grip. This is going to make it harder for them to rip you off of rebounds, which is pretty common in this game, so you're definitely going to want this badge. And then you're going to have 5 points left over. What I would recommend you to do is probably go ahead and put on bailout, then put on clamp breaker and floor general, as mismatch expert and special delivery are pretty useless. So you could also take off clamp breaker and you could put on floor general on silver if you want to help your teammates out a little bit more. And then moving on to defense, this is the most important thing for this build. We're going to want to put on bronze interceptor, bronze workhorse. You're going to want to put on at least gold box out beast and at least bronze chase down. And that's going to be your 10 points equipped. So you're going to be able to access the tier 3. Now for this, I would recommend you to core Hall of Fame rebound chaser. Then we could put on gold anchor, gold brick wall, and we could put on silver pogo stick. And then those 2 extra points that you didn't put on finishing when you get your extra badges, I would recommend you to put them on defense, and then you're going to be able to get Hall of Fame pogo. Or you could even upgrade your box out beast. It's really up to you. Now for the second build that I'm going to be showing you guys, as you can see on the right, this build has a 58 speed. The interior defense went down to a 90, so you're only going to have that silver brick wall. However, on this build you have a 99 block, so you're going to be able to get Hall of Fame anchor, which is a very good badge for contesting shots in the paint. So losing some interior, but you're getting that Hall of Fame anchor to balance it out, as well as you're getting 7 more speed, so your guy's going to be a lot faster. There is a noticeable difference in 7 speed. This guy moves very, very quick. So going over the stats very quickly, again, you're always going to want that 95 close shot if you're making a 7-3 inside, just because that Masher badge is so good. Now for this build, again, like I said, these other finishing badges on this game, they're very hard to get if you're going to get that high close shot. So for this build, I only have a 69 standing dunk. You can up this a little bit, but you're going to have to lose out on different things. Again, the mid-range and the free throw, pretty standard for an inside center. This is what's the big difference in this build. We got the 76 pass accuracy to get that gold break starter. Now, it is a noticeable difference between 65 pass and 76 where you get that gold break starter. Your guy throws the ball a lot quicker. And if you're someone that likes to play 5v5, rec, pro-am, whatever, and you're throwing full court passes, trying to get on the break, it's a very good thing to have 76 pass accuracy. It's going to make all of your passes feel like 22 when you had gold ball passer. And then again, the ball handle is linked to pass accuracy. There's nothing we could do here. Obviously, I'd put it down to 0 if I could. Again, this build has 90 interior, so a little bit lower. If you guys feel like you need that gold brick wall, you know, I would go with that first build or the third build I'm going to show you real quick. All of these stats are pretty similar. 50 perimeter, you're going to want to get that 60 steal maxed out. Again, this build has 99 blocks. You're going to get that Hall of Fame anchor, which does give you a lot of blocks in the paint. This build switched up from the last one. The last one had 99 offensive. This one only has a 90, but it has that 99 defensive. So again, that's up to you. You can pick either one or the other. You really can't have both, unfortunately. And then for speed, this is the faster build. It's going to have 58 speed because it isn't as heavy. And you're also going to have 74 vertical, which is pretty crazy on the 7.3. This guy gets up. You have 70 strength, which is good enough, and 90 stamina. Now, real quick, pretty much the badges on every one of these builds is going to be the same. You're always going to want to put extra points in to be able to get that Hall of Fame masher once you unlock them playing career. I'm going to show you that real quick again just so you guys make sure you know. So again, this one only has 15. You need 18 badge points. You're going to have to put 3 points on if this is the build that you made. But again, I would recommend that Hall of Fame Pro Touch. I put on Fearless, Slithery, put on something like Drop Stepper, and this last point really doesn't matter. And then again, you're going to have to put 3 points on this build because you want that 8 extra. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to core the Hall of Fame masher when we have enough points for it. And then we're going to throw on Fast Twitch Gold once we have enough points by playing career. Slippery off ball, if you want to put a point into this, with the extra you can. And then obviously this build gets gold break starter, so you're going to want to core that so it doesn't use any points. And then you're going to put on the vice grip, and then I would put on something like this right here. You have 2 extra points. That 76 pass accuracy gives you a lot of playmaking, so you can really just put on whatever. And then defense is going to be the same exact thing as the last one. Now, the last build that I'm going to be showing you guys is in fact a 7'2". Now, this is similar to the first 7'3" that I showed you where the weight is put up so it's able to get a higher interior. However, it is 7'2", so it has a little bit more speed. It has 59 speed. So this is like the last build that had 90 interior at 7'3", but this one is 7'2". It's got the 96 interior to get that gold brick wall. As you guys can see in the stats, again, like I always say, you're going to want that 95 close shot. Now the standing dunk is lower on this build. You have 16 finishing, so you're going to have to put 2 extra in to get that masher. Free throws up to you. If you guys really only play park, you only play rec casually, you don't really need that high of a free throw. You can get away with, like I said, 65. So I would probably up this a little bit more. The pass accuracy, this build has the 76 for the gold. Again, if I'm playing competitive pro-am, I would most likely go with something like this just because I want my passes to be as fast as possible. And the interior on this build is a 96. It's going to give you the gold brick wall, which is plenty good enough. Perimeter is a 47, steals a 63. You get a little bit more steal because you are 7'2". Block goes to a 96. Again, you can either get 99 defensive or offensive. It's up to you which one you want. It's going to give you that Hall of Fame rebounding as well as Hall of Fame pogo. The speed in this build is very good at a 59. Pretty much anything at like a 57 to 58, your guy is really fast. I know it sounds low, but that is very fast. 59 speed is very fast in this game. Your guy's going to be running around like crazy. acceleration doesn't matter. It's only how fast you move with the ball in your hand, which we're not doing. 71 strength is good enough. This build has 75 vertical, so that's very high for a 7'2", and then 90 stamina. So I just want to give you guys a couple different options of builds to look at, and what I've been seeing as someone that plays competitive Pro-Am a lot, my primary game mode. I just went to the real life event in Philly. It was a 100K tournament, and we ended up making the grand final, so that was really good. But I used a 7'3" the whole time. And like I said, this game is very similar, so it's going to be the same exact thing in my opinion. It's going to be 7'2", 7'3s, tall centers. You're not going to see anybody under 7 foot playing 5v5 most likely. But I hope this video helped you guys out. Showed you 3 different builds. You know, go ahead and change whatever you guys see fit. Everybody has a different play style. You might not like whatever I have in a certain category because you play a certain game mode or you play a certain type of way. So use this as a base for whatever you want to make for the year. But again, I would highly recommend you to make a tall center. Don't waste your money making a short guy. Hey, you're gonna get burned by Ronald. You're gonna be wasting that $50. So make sure you go tall. I really appreciate you guys watching. I hope this video helped you guys out. I've been grinding for this video all day, checking as many things as I could. So if you guys could like, comment, and subscribe for me, I'd really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. It's been your boy Will. Peace.